Hello and welcome everybody to my channel Omni Bio Entrance, and today we will be discussing University of Hyderabad MSc Entrance Examination Animal Biotechnology question paper conducted in the year 2013. So coming to the first question. Hormone that brings out action by binding to intracellular receptors is. So it is calcitrol. Answer is option B. Which of the following compounds will be optically active? So out of these, the one which is going to be optically active is 2-chloro-propanoic acid. So answer is option C. Avian fauna represents a mixture of Palearctic and Nearctic regions. Answer is option D. The electric potential of a cell is an intensive property. Answer is option A. All these are direct questions. Then the condition where vertebrae have centrum concave at the anterior end and convex at the posterior end is called as procoelus. Answer is option D. It is a type of vertebrae in many reptiles. Then amphicoelus is a type of vertebrae in most fishes and amphibians in which the centra are spindle shaped and the notochord runs through the center. Then heterocoelus is a type of vertebrae in the neck of birds and some turtles in which the articulating surfaces are saddle shaped to allow for maximum flexibility. And opisthocoelus is a type of vertebrae in ungulates such as cows, horses, deer, in which the anterior end is convex and the posterior end is concave. Then next question. Calculate the length of the double-stranded DNA molecule of molecular weight 3 into 10 raised to 7. Now I have got a value which is close to the ones given in the option. So if you have any doubt or if you find that there is a mistake in my calculation, then please let me know in the comment section. So coming to the question, calculate the length of the double-stranded DNA molecule of molecular weight 3 into 10 raised to 7. So molecular weight of E. coli DNA is 3.1 into 10 raised to 9 grams per mole. And molecular weight of DNA is equal to number of base pair into average molecular weight of nucleotide pair. So number of base pair is equal to molecular weight of DNA by average molecular weight of nucleotide pair. So here the molecular weight of E. coli DNA, I made a mistake while writing that. It is actually the molecular weight of DNA molecule as given in the question, that is 3 into 10 raised to 7 grams per mole. So for finding out the number of base pairs, molecular weight divided by average molecular weight of nucleotide pair. So for nucleotide pair, the average molecular weight is 660. And the molecular weight of DNA for what is given is 3 into 10 raised to 7. So 3 into 10 raised to 7 divided by 660 will give you 45454.5455 base pair. Now one base pair contributes to 0.34 nanometer length. Hence this much base pair will contribute to how much nanometers? That will contribute to 15,454.5455 nanometers. That will be equal to 15.45 meters. I have converted into micrometers because in the question it is with micrometers. So approximately I can say that this answer nears the value approximate to 16.50 micrometers. So the answer is, as per me, option A. Then next one. Which of the following statement is false? Diethyl ether has been used as a general anesthetic. Methyl alcohol is produced by fermentation of sugars. Methyl alcohol is not produced by fermentation of sugars. Ethyl alcohol is present in all alcoholic beverages. Ethylene glycol is a common antifreeze for automobiles. So all A, B and D options are correct except option C. Then the queen Apis mellifera attracts male by pheromone produced by mandibular glands. The chemical composition of this pheromone is, it is 9-oxodecanoic acid. Answer is option A. Then terminal deoxynucleotidal transferase is an enzyme that catalyzes. So it catalyzes addition of nucleotides to the 3' terminus of DNA molecule. So answer is option A. Ketoenol tautomer is shown by. So it is shown by option B, that is acetone. Ketoenol tautomerism is shown by acetone. The phenomenon where gonadal maturation is accelerated while the rest of the body develops normally is. It is called as progenesis. Answer is option B. Now what is neoteny? Neoteny is the condition in which an organism reaches maturity without losing all of its juvenile characteristics. Then progenesis. It refers to the attainment of sexual maturity of an organism still in the larval or juvenile stage and a secondary result of never experiencing later developmental stages. And morphollaxis is the regeneration of specific tissue in a variety of organisms due to loss or death of the existing tissue. And epimorphosis is defined as the regeneration of a specific part of an organism in a way that involves extensive cell proliferation of somatic stem cells, dedifferentiation and reformation, as well as blastema formation. So the answer is option B, progenesis. Now which molecule has non-zero dipole moment? So it is for CHCl3 that is having non-zero dipole moment. The tallest living tree is, it is the sequoia. Answer is option D, that is Sequoia sempervirens. Then, in which carbon of pyruvate the radioactivity would be found if glucose labeled both at C1 and C4 with C14 is used as carbon source? So the answer is at first carbon atom of pyruvate. Answer is option A. Then next one. Exogenous melatonin administration increases the chance of falling asleep when endogenous melatonin levels are low. Answer is option A. Markov-Winko's addition of HBr is not applicable to. So it is not applicable to 2-butene. Answer is option D. The central portion of the stem useful for storage of food is. It is the pith. Answer is option A, pith. The pith is soft because it consists of spongy tissue. In stem it is found in the center of the stem where it primarily serves as food storage, such as those found in eudicots. It may also extend to the roots and flowering stem as in monocots. So the central portion of the stem used as for storage of food is pith. Macula is characteristic feature of retina. The macula is an oval-shaped pigmented area near the center of the retina of the human eye and the eye of animals. Then next one. Eskimos have shorter arms and legs in proportion to their trunk size. This is an example of. So what is Allen's rule? Allen's rule states that animals adapted to cold climate have shorter limbs and basically appendages than animals adapted to warmer climates. Then Bergman's rule states that organisms at higher latitudes should be larger and thicker than those closer to the equator to better conserve heat. Then what does Jordan rule say? It is an ecogeographical rule that describes the inverse relationship between water, temperature and meristic characteristics in various species of fishes. The most commonly observed relationship is that fin ray vertebrae or scale numbers increase with decreasing temperature. And Gloger's rule points that darker birds are found more often in humid environments than in arid ones, especially in the tropic. Accordingly, desert inhabiting animals tend to be light colored. So, Eskimos have shorter arms and legs in proportion to their trunk size is as per the Allen rule that states that animals adapted to cold climate have shorter limbs and body appendages than those animals adapted to warm climates. So, answer is option B. How many Faradays are required to reduce 1 mole of MnO4 minus to Mn2 plus? So MnO4 minus plus 8H positive plus 5 electrons give Mn2 plus 5H2O. So 1 mole of this MnO4 requires 5 moles of electrons here. 5 mole of electrons to reduce to Mn2 plus. So number of Faradays will be 5. So answer is option D. Then all of the following are proteins within the core nucleosome particle except H1, it is a linker DNA. Then monotreme found only in Australia region. So they are echidna. So answer is option A. Which one of the following compounds does not dissolve in concentrated H2SO4 on warming? So it is normal hexane as it is a polar compound. So answer is option A. Sucking mouth parts with stylets are characteristics of. So they are characteristics of bugs. Answer is option A. Then von Greek's disease of liver and kidney is associated with. So von Greek's disease is an autosomal recessive disorder caused by the deficiency of the enzyme glucose 6-phosphate translocase, which transport glucose 6-phosphate into the endoplasmic reticulum for further metabolism. So answer is option A, glucose 6-phosphate. Then liquid oils can be converted to solid fats by. So they can be converted by hydrogenation. Answer is option A. Negri bodies are found in cells infected with. So they are found in cells infected with rabies virus. Answer is option D. So Negri bodies are eosinophilic, sharply outlined pathognomonic inclusion bodies found in the cytoplasm of certain nerve cells containing the virus of rabies. Then elevated phenylalanine is a clinical biochemical marker for. It is a clinical biochemical marker for phenylketonuria. This phenylketonuria is an inherited error of metabolism caused by deficiency in the enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase. Loss of this enzyme results in mental retardation, organ damage, unusual posture, and in some cases of maternal PKU and severely compromise pregnancy. So phenylalanine hydroxylase is an enzyme that is required to metabolize L-phenylalanine to L-tyrosine. So elevated level of phenylalanine means it is a biochemical marker for phenylketonuria. The following structure act as an organizer in hydra, that is hypostome. Answer is option C. Then an RNA-dependent RNA polymerase is likely to be present in the virion of a. So RNA-dependent RNA polymerase is one of the most versatile enzyme of RNA viruses that is indispensable for replicating the genome as well as for carrying out transcription. So it is present in the minus strand RNA virus. Answer is option C. Then Archaeopteryx is a transitional fossil between dinosaur and bird. Answer is option D. Polymer produced by Erwinia tahitica used for carpet printing. It is sandflow. That is option C. Introduction of transgene for transgenic manipulation can be done at the level of. It can be done at the level of both somatic and germline. Answer is option B. Shallow water zone of intertidal area on the continental shelf is called as neritic zone. Answer is option A. Which one of the following compounds On treatment with NaHCO3 will liberate carbon dioxide. So it is acetic acid that will liberate carbon dioxide. Answer is option A. A region of high biodiversity with most species being endemic in India has been identified. So it is identified in Eastern Himalayan region and Western Ghats. So answer is option A. Then when the Eurodeal Proteus of caves is exposed to light. So what will happen when it is exposed to light? So Proteus is an aquatic salamander in the family Protidae, the only exclusively cave dwelling chordate found in Europe. So it is usually cave dwelling, so that is in nature it lives in not exposed to light. So once it is exposed to light, what will happen is its skin darkens. So answer is option B. Then lysozymes break linkage between. So lysozyme is a glycosidic hydrolase that catalyzes the hydrolysis of 1,4-beta linkages between N-acetylmuramic acid and N-acetylglucosamine residues in peptidoglycan. So answer is option B, that is N-acetylmuramic acid and N-acetylglucosamine. Use of cells or cellular components to produce a desired end product is. It is called as bioprocess. Answer is option D. Biomass is a renewable organic material that comes from plants and animals. Biotransformation, also called bioconversion, and is the conversion of organic material such as plants and animal waste into usable products or energy sources by a biological agent such as microorganism. So the answer here is use of cells and cellular component to produce desired end product is called bioprocess. And biosynthesis is the production of complex molecules within the living organism of cells. Then which one of the following compounds will give a positive test with Felling's solution? So naturally it is an aldehyde group that is going to give, and the answer here is option A, formaldehyde. Then the appearance of vestigial organs is because of their continuous. So vestigial structures are various cells, tissues and organs in the body which no longer serve any function. So the appearance of vestigial organ is because of their continuous uselessness. Answer is option D. They are not useful for us, but still it is present in our bodies. Okay. The following component is used in flavor enhancement produced from Corynebacterium glutamicum. So that is glutamic acid that is produced. Answer is option D. Then next one. The jaw suspension type in Elasmobranchs is, it is amphistylic. Answer is option C. Then chromosomal translocations are common in the following conditions. That is in the case of Down's syndrome. The extra chromosome 21 may also occur due to Robertsonian translocation in 2 to 4% of the cases. So answer is Down. Then cyclopentanol undergoes oxidation to give. So it gives cyclopentanone. Answer is option B. Which one of the following gram-positive bacteria cause pharyngitis, sore throat? So it is by Streptococcus pyogenes. So answer is option B, Streptococcus. Which one of the following most likely prevents extinction of a rare allele that is genetically lethal in homozygous condition? Which one of the following most likely prevents extinction of a rare allele that is genetically lethal in homozygous condition? So what is balanced polymorphism? It is a situation in which two different versions of genes are maintained in a population of organism because individuals carrying both the versions are better able to survive than those whose two copies of either version alone. So balanced polymorphism, different versions of the gene are maintained in the population. Why? Because the individuals carrying both these versions are able to survive than those who have two copies of either version alone. So answer here is option D, that is balanced polymorphism. At critical temperature of a liquid, surface tension is. So at critical temperature, the surface tension is 0. Answer is option A. Radius and ulna are separate in. So radius and ulna are separate in case of frog. Answer is option A. Wait a moment. Sorry, it is not frog, it is man. Okay, radius and ulna are separate in case of man, whereas they are fused in the case of frog. So I made a mistake, I am sorry for that. So it is man is the answer, where radius and ulna are separate. Okay. Then next one. Gas gangrene is caused by which species of Clostridium? So gas gangrene is caused by Clostridium perfringens. Answer is option C. Then which one of the following plant is biennial? So banana is perennial, jackfruit is pineapple are all perennial. So what is left out is carrot. So it is a biennial plant. Then Paurometabolous type of post-embryonic development is characteristic of. So Paurometabolous is the process of gradual metamorphosis. It is a type of growth that occurs in insects such as cockroaches, which includes just 3 stages, that is egg, nymph and adult. It is incomplete metamorphosis or Paurometabolous since it lacks the pupa stage. So the answer here is Orthoptera. Answer is option B. All of the following would have direct effect on the amount of precipitation in an area except. So continental drift doesn't have a direct effect on the precipitation in an area. So answer is option B. The conjugate H2 plus is. It is H minus. Answer is option C. Then Acetobacter has worldwide distribution in soil having pH 5 to 8. Answer is option C. Then a mutation that gives an altered phenotype even in the presence of a copy of the wild type gene is. So in class, conditional mutation is a mutant allele causes a mutant phenotype in only a certain environment called restrictive condition, but causes a wild type phenotype in some different environment called permissive condition. So it gives an altered phenotype even in the presence of a copy of the wild type gene. So this is an example. This is due to conditional mutation. So answer is option A. Then last step of Krebs cycle is the breakdown of. So breakdown of malate. Answer is option B. Notochord is formed from. It is formed from chorda mesoderm cells. Answer is option A. Nile perch is a good example of. So it was an introduced predator. Answer is option C. Nile perch introduced into Lake Victoria in East Africa led to the extinction of cichlid fishes in the lake. So it is an introduced predator. Then microtubule polymerization can be best disrupted by. So colchicine is an alkaloid derived from autumn corcus or Colchicum autumnale. It inhibits mitosis by inhibiting microtubule polymerization. So answer is option A. Then penicillium is commonly known as green and blue mold because they produce enormous quantities of greenish, bluish, yellowish spores which gives them the characteristic color. So it is called as green or blue mold. Then specific heat of aluminium is 0.214 calories per gram per degree Celsius. Amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 40 grams of aluminium from 20 to 30 degrees Celsius is. To increase the temperature of 1 gram of aluminium by 1 degree Celsius, you need to supply it with 0.214 calories per gram degree Celsius. Then how much heat is needed to increase the temperature of this sample, that is 40 gram sample. So 40 into 0.214 divided by 1, you will get 8.56. Now the temperature change you will need is 30 minus 20, that is 10 degrees. So 10 into 8.56 divided by 1 degree Celsius is 85.6 cals. So the answer is option A. Now effect of one gene on another in a way that one would hide the effect of another on a phenotype is called as epistasis. Answer is option B. Ethylene and acetylene can be distinguished using Tollens reagent. Option B. One of the following is not a blood coagulation factor. It is Baker factor, that is not a blood coagulation factor. Which one of the following is the site for T cell development? So T cell development take place in the thymus. Answer is option C. What is the pH of a solution whose hydrogen ion concentration is 3.2 into 10 raised to minus 4 mole per liter? So pH is equal to minus log concentration of H plus. We know they have given hydrogen ion concentration as 3.2 into 10 raised to minus 4. So minus log 3.2 into 10 raised to minus 4. So 4, the 10 raised to minus 4 log is 4 minus log 3.2. So 4 minus 0.5051, you will get 3.5. So the answer is 3.5. Answer D. Cyclomorphosis is a phenomenon where body form alerts with change in. So body form alters with change in temperature. Is cyclomorphosis. Okay, it is cyclomorphosis. Answer is option D. The enzyme which dephosphorylates all types of DNA ends at 37 degrees Celsius. It is alkaline phosphatase. Mucosal tissue bond to the periosteum of the maxillary and mandibular bones is. It is gingiva. Answer is option A. Following is an example of discontinuous distribution. So answer is artemia. So what is discontinuous distribution? Organism which occur only in some restricted areas. They show discontinuous distribution, and an example is artemia. Alkyl halides undergo nucleophilic substitution reactions. Answer is option C. Following organism is one in or leaching. So it is Thiobacillus. Answer is option A. Then neutrophils are attracted to an infected area by aggregation of complement molecules. Answer is option D. Which one of the following is a woody climber? Neem is a woody climber. Option B. One of the following is a dermal bone. It is wormer. It is a dermal bone. Answer is option D. Then individuals with Laren syndrome and autosomal recessive disorder shows. So Laren syndrome is a condition that occurs when the body is unable to utilize growth hormone. It is primarily characterized by short stature. So the answer is elevated level of circulating growth hormone. So answer is option A. Then mammal produce concentrated urine because of the presence of. So it is because of the presence of loop of Henle. Answer is option A. Influenza virus belong to the family. It belong to the family Orthomyxoviridae. Answer is option C. Now father and mother are apparently normal but carriers. So they are normal phenotypically but genotypically they are carriers of that particular disease. So the daughter succumbs to carrier based hereditary disease. What is the probability of grandchildren, that is daughter's son or daughter, getting affected by the disease if the son-in-law, that is the one, her husband, this daughter's husband is son-in-law, is completely normal? So these are the father and mother, that is A and capital A, small a, capital A, small a. These are the gametes and these are the offsprings. So the daughter succumbs to carrier-based hereditary disease. So this is the carrier-based hereditary disease, means it will not be expressed when the dominant gene is present. It will be expressed only in the homozygous condition. That is, it is not expressed in heterozygous condition, but it is expressed in the homozygous condition. So the daughter succumbs to carrier-based hereditary disease. So this is the genotype of the daughter. Now she marries a person who is completely normal. So he can be either capital A, small a, or capital A, capital A. So when this daughter marries a man carrying the genotype capital A, then all the offsprings will be normal. So they have asked what is the probability of grandchildren getting affected by the disease. So it can be 0% if the genotype of the man is capital A, or it can be 50% if he is heterozygous carrier. So capital A, small a, still then he will be normal phenotypically. So if that is the case, if it is a heterozygous carrier, then small a will be 50%. Chances of grandchildren getting affected by the disease is there. But since they have told that the son-in-law is completely normal, then 0% will be the probability of grandchildren getting affected by the disease, because it might be more towards the capital A genotype. So answer will be B. Okay, because they have asked for completely normal. So phenotypically and genotypically the son-in-law will be completely normal. That is what is meant in the question. So answer will be 0%. Then next one. The mode of nutrition in which organisms like bacteria, algae and diatoms form the food of protozoa is, it is called as holozoic nutrition. Then osmosis results from decrease in entropy. Answer is option B. Species transplant experiments are one way of determining. A transplant experiment is an experiment to test the effect of environment by moving two species from their native environment into a common environment. So that is a transplant experiment. So this will determine what the strength of interspecific interactions in an area. So we are taking two species from their native environment and putting them into a common environment. So there will be some interspecific interactions in that particular area. The strength of this particular interaction, that is interspecific interaction in that area, can be determined. Then next one. Maximum rate of photosynthesis occurs in, it occurs in the red light. Answer is option A. Then infection of host cell by HIV is mediated through, it is mediated through adhesion. Answer is option C. Molecules smaller than 1 nanometer can be visualized by, it can be visualized by X-ray microscopy. Answer is option C. The following is an amphibian animal. It is ambystoma. Answer is option C. Exchange of segments between non-homologous chromosomes is called as? It is called as translocation. Answer is option A. So next question. Which one of the following is not associated with chronic myeloid leukemia? So it is African Y chromosome is the answer. The chronic myeloid leukemia is caused by translocation between chromosome 9 and chromosome 22. So B and C are involved. The extra short chromosome 22 is called Philadelphia chromosome. So again option D is also correct. And Philadelphia chromosome is present in the blood cell of 90% of the people with chronic myelogenous leukemia. So which is not associated with chronic myeloid leukemia is African Y chromosome. So answer is option A. Then linolate is an 18 carbon fatty acid of membrane lipids. The position of double bond in this molecule occur at positions. So there are two double bonds in linoleate. It is an 80 carbon fatty acid, and at carbon number 9 and 12 there is a double bond. So answer is option B, delta 9, delta 12. All of the following act to increase species diversity except. So it is answer is option C, that is competitive exclusion. If bacteriophage is infected to the E. coli culture growing in the medium containing radio-labeled methionine, which part of the phage particle gets radioactive? Now E. coli is being grown in the culture medium containing radio-labeled methionine. So E. coli will be incorporating the radio-labeled methionine. Now when the E. coli keeps dividing, the phage also keeps on infecting the E. coli. Now what will the phage do? It will enter the host cell, and the virus synthesizes virus encoded endonucleases to degrade the bacterial chromosome. Then it will use the host replication machinery, that is to transcribe and translate the necessary viral components for the assembly of the new virus. Then in the final stage, the mature virus bursts out of the host cell in a process called lysis. So the phage is not utilizing any radio-labeled methionine from the medium. Only the E. coli is utilizing it. So the phage progeny do not get radio-labeled. Answer is option D.